Okay, so if it is around, if the temperature is around, rises around 300 to 1500 Kelvin, then it is going to obey this law. And if it is above 1500 Kelvin, then it is going to obey this law. And if it is about 2000 Kelvin, okay, then the third order equation is going to that it is going to obey the third order equation. Okay, nothing but here we will get a K3 T cube, and also for CV K3 T cube. And if it is around 2500 Kelvin like that, then we will get fourth order equation. Okay, and since it is going increase, the temperature increase is going to reduce. That means the specific heat value is going to reduce. That means there will be lot of difference. Okay, that means very low amount of increase within the specific heat. Okay, by the increase of degree of equation. Okay, so here that's why we are going to, with the change in temperature, there will be always specific heats are going to change, but in air fuel cycle. But in case of air standard cycle, we have assumed throughout the cycle single constant values. Okay, but here not like that. According to raise in temperature, there will be definitely change in Cp and Cv, and how these are going to increase I have already shown you. Okay, following this manner. Okay, and coming to dissociation, okay, it is nothing but a reverse process to combustion. And what is stoichiometric mixture here? Okay, to there will be some stoichiometric ratio where equivalence ratio is going to be 0. Okay, at this, what is actually, this is, okay, nothing but 1:15 we are going to follow. Okay, so nothing but here 1 kg of fuel and 15 kg of fuel. That means for complete combustion of 1 kg of fuel, we need 15 kg of air. Okay, so if it is if only 14 kg of air is available, then what happens? There is no complete combustion, there will be incomplete combustion. Okay, so if there is 16 kg of air is available for combustion, then what happens? There will be excess oxygen. Now what is going to happen? Now the amount of fuel is going to reduce, so that is also problem for complete combustion. Okay, if it is more also problem, if it is less also problem. Okay, why? Because if it is rich fuel, then the amount of oxygen is not sufficient. If it is leaner fuel, then the amount of fuel is not sufficient. Okay, whatever the fuel is there, so for a complete combustion, that much amount of fuel is not, that means there may be wastage of fuel is there. Okay, so mostly we prefer stoichiometric mixture for complete combustion. But if we follow only stoichiometric mixture only, there are several parameters which are not going to get higher efficiencies. Okay, so we need to take tool in somewhat near to stoichiometric ratio. That means mere lean mixture. That means if we take this case somewhat near to stoichiometric mixture, and it is around 0.005 like that. If it is like that, then we will get more efficiency. Okay, how we get we will discuss that when we are going to discuss combustion. Okay, so in combustion unit we are going to discuss that. For now, just just know this. Okay, so if it is if there is no dissociation, okay, definitely if it is air fuel mixture, there will be definitely dissociation. But if we assume that there is no dissociation, see the temperature rise, it is around 3000 Kelvin. Okay, if there is dissociation, okay, the temperature raises around 2750, 2800 like that only. See, the peak pressure is here 2800 only if there is dissociation. So because of dissociation also, there will be reduction in temperature. So that leads to the reduction in work output and power output, and also reduction in, which leads to the lesser efficiencies. So because of these parameters in air fuel cycle, the efficiencies and power outputs are going to be reduced. Okay, why? Because we are not going to take the assumptions, we are going to consider some of the parameters, and because of that we are going to analyze actually, and because of that actual analyzation we are going to get lesser pressure and temperatures, and because of that work output and power output are reduced, and because of that we are going to get lesser efficiencies in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, so that is how we are going to that is how the efficiency is going to reduced in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, see, it is where he had done several experiments. Okay, during depending upon different mixtures. Okay, here lean mixture means less amount of fuel, rich mixture means uh, more amount of fuel. That stoichiometric mixture means appropriate, that means correct amount of fuel. That means 1 is to 15 we will take. That means to complete 1 kg of fuel completely we need 15 kg of air. Okay, and linear mixture means less amount of fuel will be there, and richer mixture means more amount of fuel will be there depending upon the fuel. Okay, if it less amount lean mixture, rich more amount rich mixture. Okay, depending upon the fuel we are going to decide whether it is lean or rich mixture. Okay, so that decides the ratio of air fuel mixture here, and depending on that at a different air fuel mixtures he had taken several experiments. He had done several experiments and plot a diagram according to that. Okay, if it is there is no dissociation. Okay, if there is no dissociation means that means definitely it is going to be an assumption. Okay, if it is assumption, then according to the air fuel mixture or ratio of minus 0.5 like that, here the temperature raise is only 2000. Okay, so if we go on increasing the linear mixture, that means if you are going go on increasing to stoichiometric mixture, see the temperatures attaining are around or obtained is around 3000 Kelvin here, and after that again it is going to reduce. Okay, so the temperature is going to reduce here. Okay, the peak pressure is we are going to attain at stoichiometric mixture, that is 3000 Kelvin. Okay, if it is a lean mixture or rich mixture, what is going to happen? The temperature obtained is very less. Okay, at stoichiometric mixture only we are going to get high peak pressure and temperature. Okay, so that's why this is a, if there is no dissociation. And if we take air fuel mixture, that means we have taken actual mixture. Okay, then how it is behaving? The temperatures are only around 2800 Kelvin only. See how much reduction in temperature is. And also we are going to get a peak pressure somewhat after the stoichiometric mixture. Okay, we are, if it is air standard cycle, we are going to get a higher temperature and peak pressure at a stoichiometric mixture only, but here we need to take somewhat rich mixture. Okay, somewhat rich mixture to attain peak pressure. Okay, at a stoichiometric mixture we are not going to get correct pressure. Okay, peak pressure or higher temperature, and we are going to attain peak pressure somewhat for richer mixture. Okay, if the equivalence ratio is 0.005, then we are going to get peak pressure. See here we are going to get peak pressure or peak temperature around after stoichiometric mixture only, but here at stoichiometric mixture only we get a peak pressure and temperature, but here only after stoichiometric mixture we have got a peak pressure and peak temperatures. Okay, at stoichiometric mixture it is not going to attain higher pressure and temperatures. Okay, so this is the diagram which shows us how the because of dissociation how temperature is going to reduce, and because of that reduction in temperature automatically there will be reduction in pressure and work output and power output. Automatically the efficiency is going to reduce. Okay, so that is the effect of dissociation. Next, coming to effect of number of moles. Okay, this is direct effect. We can say this number of moles or molecules is going to depend on fuel air ratio and pressure and temperature. I already said fuel air ratio, it is going to be somewhat lean or rich. Okay, we are going to use several fuel air ratios along the engine operation. Okay, so there will be several fuel air ratios, and according to that depending on the fuel air ratio the number of molecules are also going to depend. Okay, and also depending upon the pressure and temperature. Okay, if the pressure and temperature is high, according to that the number of molecules are going to vary, and the pressure the temperature are going to low, then also the number of molecules are going to change. Okay, that means the difference in pressure and temperature also decides the, that means number of molecules are also going to be depend on pressure and temperature. Okay, so the pressure and temperature always in the cylinder is same? No, it is definitely going to vary. So if there is any variance, that means if there is any varying pressure and temperature within the cycle, the number of molecules or number of moles are also going to change. Okay, So according to that, if the we have to analyze on number of moles also. Why? Because if the number of moles are more, then we can attain more power. Okay, it is direct effect. See, for suppose we have a car and there are 4 people. Okay, then is it easier for 4 people or 3 people? Automatically, if there are more number of people, then more we can push the car easily. Similarly, in the same manner, if we consider the piston and number of moles as 4 or not number, so it's just a number. Okay, so if there are number of moles is going to be higher, then it can push the piston more effectively. Okay, and if the number of moles is less, it is somewhat lazier to push the piston. Okay, it will take more time. That means if we take more time, then less work is reduced, less work is attained. Okay, so efficiency is also going to be less. Okay, so that's why if number of moles is more, we can get more amount of work, and if the number of moles is less, we are going to get less amount of work. Okay, it is direct effect which is going to be operated on number of moles. Okay, so that's why here the number of moles also plays a very major role in deciding the or analyzing the air fuel cycle. Okay, and depending on that, there is a lot of variance there. And also it is going to affect on operating variables. Okay, I have already said you the operating variables like pressure and temperature, inlet pressure and temperatures. Okay, with the change in inlet pressure and temperature also, there will be change in efficiency. Like uh, if the inlet pressure and temperature is high, then we need to do or we need to give less work input. Okay, if work input is less, then network output is going to increase. Why? Because here we are going to get more power and we have used less work input. Okay, so that's why we are going to get a higher work output, and because of that we will get more efficiency. So depending on operating variables also, that means inlet pressure and temperature also decides on, and depending on that also we are going to analyze the air fuel cycle. Okay, so this is about air fuel cycles. Okay, there are a lot of parameters, like main importantly we are going to have here effect of variable specific heats, effect of dissociation, effect of number of moles, and effect of operating variables. Okay, which are going to analyze the air fuel cycle, and where it is not possible in case of air standard cycle. Okay, next coming to the actual cycles. Okay, here in actual cycles we are not going to have assumptions, we are going to have all accurate or actual process only. Okay, here we are going to take actual process which are going to be very much accurate, and also accurate working medium air fuel mixture we are going to take. Okay, coming to analysis of this actual cycles, in air standard cycles what we have, all are assumptions. In air fuel cycles, some are assumptions, some are considerations, but in actual cycle all are considerations only. There are no more assumptions. If there is any loss, that we have to consider. Okay, if there is any change in process, that we have to consider. Okay, so in actual cycles there are no assumptions, only we are going to take all actual things only. Accurate working medium we have to take, accurate process we need to take. Okay, so that is the difference among these three. Okay, in actual cycles there are no more assumptions, only actual things are there. So depending on that actual things what we have, these are we can get an accurate efficiency, how much efficiency is going to be available at the end of the cycle, that we can take easily. So by analyzing actual cycle we will get we will improve. Okay, we know what is the actual condition. Okay, if you know what is actual conditions, there may be scope of improving the performance and efficiency. Okay, so if we done the analysis actually, then it will help us to increase the efficiency and performance in an actual case. Okay, so that is the advantage in case of actual cycle. See how the points are here. Here the actual cycle shows the conditions existing in the cylinder of an IC engine. Whatever the actual conditions or accurate conditions are within the cylinder is there, that we need to take in case of actual cycle. And also this actual cycle for IC engines differ from the fuel air cycle and air standard cycle. I already said this point to you. Okay, what in actual cycle what we are going to do, actual process we need to take, actual working fluid medium we need to take, which is not where we have not taken in case of air fuel cycle and air standard cycle. Okay, Only actual things we are going to consider in case of actual cycles. Okay, and also the actual efficiency is much lower than the A standard efficiency. Why? Because we are going to consider here here we are going to have less efficiency. Why? Because we are going to consider the losses also according to the whatever the considerations we have taken in air fuel cycle, that we are taking, and also in addition we are going to take the losses also. Okay, whatever the assumptions we have taken in air fuel cycle, okay, those are also going to be get into the considerations in case of actual cycles. So there are no more assumptions, so that's why we have to consider the losses also. By considering these losses, we are going to get the lesser efficiencies, much lower efficiencies when compared to A standard and also air fuel cycle. So which cycle is going to have more efficiency or more work output? Okay, A standard cycle. And after that, for air fuel cycle, somewhat less in work output and less efficiency are there. And coming to actual cycle, very much less efficiencies we will get because of all actual things. Okay, and because of all these actual things, we need to get lesser temperature and pressure. Okay, and that's why we are going to get very much lower efficiencies. Okay, and how this efficiency is reducing, we will discuss this in next class. Okay, and we will come across all the losses which are going to be analyzed in case of actual cycles and why the efficiency is less in case of actual cycles. Okay, and that is a first part of first unit. Okay, till now it is the second part of first unit which I have completed. Okay, and see how the actual diagrams are going to be in case of actual two-stroke engine and actual four-stroke engine of SI engine. Okay, this is a two-stroke SI engine actual diagram in case of two-stroke engine, and it is the actual four-stroke SI engine diagram. Okay, see there is a lot of difference between ideal diagram and actual diagram. I have already explained you the ideal diagram. Okay, the process whatever is going to happen in ideal case, that I have already explained to you, and this is the actual. Okay, and this we have already discussed, both ideal and actual we have discussed. Okay, if it is ideal, it is going to be constant. At constant pressure, the suction and exhaust are going to be happen, and also the combustion is going to be happen instantaneously. But here the combustion is going to happen at a progressively. Okay, progressively there will be combustion, not at the top dead center. That means when the piston is in expansion stroke also, the combustion is going to progress. Okay, so there will be progressive combustion here. Okay, in case of two-stroke engine also the same thing. And here we have already seen the ideal diagram, and comparing to that, this is the actual diagram. Okay, in case of two-stroke engines, and 0 to 1 is suction. Okay, why here less we have? Why? Because here this is the suction into the whatever the crankcase is there. Okay, that is going to be for a very short period of time in case of suction. During the suction only it is going to happen in case of two-stroke engine. Okay, there is no much time available for suction. Okay, so that's why here we have shown the suction process, suction from 0 to 1, this one, and 1 to 2 is compression. Okay, one isentropic compression we have, and 2 to 3, and here where the ignition is going to start, here before the piston reaches top dead center only it is going to ignite, and it is going to progress. Here we are going to have progressive combustion, but in case of air fuel cycle and A standard cycle, we are going to have instantaneous. That means when the piston is at top dead center only, we are going to have combustion. See, but here there is lot of variance. Okay, it is a lot of variance. Ignition is going to start before top dead center only, and it is going to continue during the expansion stroke also. Okay, and what is 3 to 4? Isentropic expansion. During this there will be a linear line which we can see in case of two-stroke engines. Okay, but here there is it is not going to be a linear one. Okay, there is lot of variance in this line. That means the pressure and temperature are going to reduce in accordingly with respect to the A standard cycle. Okay, there is lot of difference in a heat expansion also. Okay, and the exhaust is also there, and during this there will be some heat rejection. Okay, the heat rejection is here only. During the exhaust on expansion only, we are going to have the process 3 to 5. I have shown you the process and this here this is, there is we are going to have 5 3 to 5. That means the process 3 to 5 which is not shown here, but in ideal diagram we have seen. Okay, during the expansion only there will be exhaust. Why? Because there will be opening within the exhaust port here, and because of that the expansion is going, the exhaust is going to be done during the expansion stroke only. Why? Because we have only 2 strokes in case of 2-stroke engine. Okay, so here the process 3 to 5 is there, which it is not shown actually here. Okay, but here we are going to have, in ideal cycle I have shown you, here we are going to have the process 3 to 5. That means during expansion only there will be some exhaust of gases. Okay, and 4 to 0 is here it is a heat release process. He has shown like that here. This is a 4 to 0 process, heat release. Okay, and coming to 4 stroke, we have already seen that the 0 to 1 is suction, 1 to 2 is compression, and 2 to 3 is going to be progressive combustion, where in case of air standard and air fuel cycle it is instantaneous combustion. That means when piston is a top dead center only, total combustion is going to be completed. But here it is during expansion stroke also the combustion is going to vary here. Okay, so that's why there will be a progressive combustion in case of actual cycle, and the process 3 to 4 is expansion. During this what is going to happen, the pressure is going to reduce, and 4 to 1. Okay, 4 to 1 is heat release. Okay, he has not shown heat release here, and he directly went to exhaust here. That means during the process 4 to 0, that means during the process exhaust process, it is going to be also the variable, it is also reducing. That means if it is ideal cycle, at the end of this bottom dead center only it is going to reach its atmospheric pressure. Okay, but actually it is not going to happen. Okay, it is going to reach atmospheric pressure when the piston is at top dead center. Okay, but if it is ideal diagram, at bottom dead center only it is going to reach the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so ideal diagram it is going to reach the atmospheric pressure when the piston is at top dead center. In ideal diagram it is going to reach only at bottom dead center only. Okay, so that is the major difference between ideal and actual diagram. So these are the actual diagrams in case of 2-stroke and 4-stroke SI engines. Okay, for CI engines also similar, but here we are going to have constant pressure ignition or constant pressure combustion will be there here also. Okay, we already seen all that. Okay, actually also it is going to vary in a some linear manner, and all this is same. Heat rejection is also same, only the heat addition is going to be different if it is CI engine. Okay, these are diagrams for SI engines. This is a 2-stroke SI engine and this is 4-stroke SI engine. If it is CI engine, the combustion is going to happen at constant pressure instead of constant volume. Here we are going to have combustion at constant pressure. Okay, if it is actual, it is not at all constant, something variance is there, somewhat reduction in pressure is there, and it is also a progressive combustion. Okay, so that is about actual diagrams, a brief on actual cycles, and half of the unit is the only analysis on actual cycles. Okay, so that part we will see from next class, which is the first part of first unit. Okay, so that's all for today, and thank you all for listening my class. And if you have any doubts, please raise your hand, and I will unmute you. And if you have any